Hi everyone. So my name is Lisa. I am in Laura Killam's Transcultural Nursing class this semester. Nice to meet everyone. This is my first time doing a video response. So this week I'm going to be doing a video response about the lecture we watched this week. So the lecture we watched this week on Wade Davis, and I'm going to be sharing what I thought to be important points to me that I took away from the lecture. So just to start with, I found Wade Davis' lecture to be extremely interesting and thought-provoking. The first point I would like to discuss is Wade's definition of ethnosphere. So in the lecture, he actually defines ethnosphere as humanity's greatest legacy. It is the product of our dreams, the embodiment of our hopes, the symbol of all that we are and all that we have created as a wildly inquisitive and astonishing adaptive species. So his definition really got me thinking. And for this response, I wanted to think of something that was actually opposite of the definition of ethnosphere. What would be something opposite to that? So that led me to think of something called ethnocentric. So I just wanted to define ethnocentric before I speak about it more. So in the article I'm going to be talking about actually, they defined ethnocentrism as a view of things in which one's own culture is the center of everything and all others are scaled and rated with reference to it. So I found a great Canadian article. So this article is called The Relationship Between Cultural Competence and Ethnocentrism of Healthcare Professionals. So I wanted to relate what we're learning to also our work as healthcare professionals. So this article was written by Jen Capell, Elizabeth Dean, and Jerry Veenstra. I'm also going to be including the reference information in the discussion box, but I just wanted to touch on that. So the article, this article is actually very interesting. I would suggest that everyone has a read. So basically, in this article, there was a study that examined the relationship between cultural competence and ethnocentrism among healthcare professionals. So there was 71 physical therapists, occupational therapists, and nurses from 3 hospitals in Vancouver, British Columbia that participated in this survey. So before I kind of discuss what the results were of that survey, I just wanted to touch on, in this article they describe that generally ethnocentrism of healthcare providers has been reported to contribute to patient alienation, inadequate treatment, and misdiagnosis. So the results of the study indicated what they called moderately strong inverse relationship, or a negative correlation, is really what that all relationship means, between cultural competence and ethnocentrism. So this suggested, these findings suggested that we need to improve the cultural competence of our healthcare professionals, and there is further research that needs to be done. And yeah, I didn't think that the results of this study were very surprising at all, but I just thought that that was a good point to bring up, and I do definitely agree that there needs to be more education given to our healthcare providers. I know that the place where I work, it's a big city in southern Ontario, and we have a vast cultural diversity, and something that was missing from my orientation was definitely information on the different cultures that I would be caring for. I'm from a smaller town, and many of the people that I deal with have cultures that I had never even heard of before I started working at my current facility. So I definitely think that there is a missing link there between the education that we need as health providers, cultural education, to be able to care for our patients in a meaningful and safe way. So the second point that I wanted to discuss that I took away from the lecture was language loss. So I want to speak about this because I'm actually an example of it. I'm half Italian and half Danish, and I wasn't taught either language. So you might be thinking, why was I not taught either language? It's because my parents communicated with each other in English, of course. So my Italian and English-speaking father, he obviously would communicate to my Danish and English-speaking mother in English. They didn't learn each other's languages, so I wasn't taught either. So I never really thought much about that, but as I am growing older, I really wish that I had learned at least one of the languages. I was kind of more, I would say, more brought up in an Italian culture for the most part. So the Italian language is something that I'm really interested in learning about. So I just wanted to also bring you guys to the attention of an article I found on this BBC site. So this article is written by Rachel Newer. And so in this article, she basically describes a man called Tom Belt, who's a native of Oklahoma. And he said that he didn't actually encounter the English language before he started kindergarten. So in his home, conversations took place mainly in Cherokee. So in this article, it's just really saying that many children are not being taught languages, and a lot of more native and older languages, they are being lost. So just give me 2 seconds. They touched on something of particular interest to me. Sorry, just bear with me. Let me find my point here. Okay, so I just found this point in the article interesting. So it was said that Australia, once the European settlers moved there, they actually had 100 Aboriginal languages that have gone extinct since then. So I guess more European languages have took over. So I just wanted to make that point as well. I thought that was very interesting. They also said that there were about 300 Aboriginal languages that were spoken around the country. And also they are explaining that 95% of the remaining languages are on their last legs, so they are basically bound to be extinct as well. So this article, it really instilled in me that I do definitely want to learn at least one of the languages from my cultural background. Not that I think that the Danish language or the Italian language is going to go extinct anytime soon, but you never know. These languages have gone extinct, so it could be a matter of time. For the most part, Italian is really primarily only spoken in Italy. As well, Danish is primarily spoken in only Denmark. So those languages are, could be bound to be extinct in, I think will be many years, but they could also be extinct one day. It's not something like Spanish, which is spoken in multiple countries around the world. So my background in Danish and Italian, they are just really primarily spoken in that country. So yeah, I would definitely like to learn more about my cultural background. And I'd probably learn Italian first and then kind of see about learning the Danish language. Yeah, so that was my reflection, guys, and I hope that you're having a good week, and I hope that you too took something valuable from the lecture of Wade Davis. Thank you so much for watching my response video, and we'll talk later.